Hello, it's Emma here, the Cornish artisan. Just wanted to document my experience of a 4-day water fast. Greg and I have decided to spend 4 days, as we've got a quiet week, spend 4 days just really connecting to ourselves, connecting to one another, and just, having that real time to rest and restore and reconnect on a really deep level. So last night was the last time that we ate. So that was at 7 o'clock. So gone through the day, the whole day of not eating anything, just water and herbal teas. I felt a little bit hungry to begin with. But once you realise that you don't have to act on that feeling, it soon subsides. Now, this is something that I've been wanting to do for a while. I'm really intrigued as to what takes place in the body on a 4-day fast, water fasting in particular. Greg and I have now been doing 2 years of intermittent fasting, which has just been, well, we've totally changed the way that we live and eat. And it's a huge benefits for mind and body. And we're part of this intermittent fasting group on Facebook, which it's so supportive. It's a community of people who do intermittent fasting, and it's led by medics, so you get support on there by professional medical people who, if you're struggling in certain areas, they can guide you into the right way. And it's good, that sort of community and support to keep going. So this seemed like a natural next stage for us. And I'm using this as a little experiment, health and wellbeing experiment, to see log the benefits for myself. And I will do a little blog post on this and write about it with the special links to the research that's been done and the community groups that you can join. But there has been a lot of research done and trials done, and some of the people on the intermittent fasting group have hugely benefited. They've managed to heal some diseases and illnesses that generally are just fed with medication. So diabetes is a one that is responds really well to intermittent fasting. Autoimmune diseases, cardiovascular disease, epilepsy. So there's some things in there that are really, really, hard to treat medically. But your body goes through this stage of where it completely, I think it's after 3 to 4 days, it goes into complete healing stage, where your cells just regenerate. So if there's any cells in your body or toxins within your body that are diseased, or the body just starts clearing up and resetting and healing on a deep level. It's amazing to read some of the stories that have occurred. But for me personally, and Greg, we've really benefited, for mind and body. It really does make a difference, and it resets that program that you have, and that pattern of thought around food, that relationship with food. You can really reset and reprogram. So it's interesting to note that our initial connection with food, our initial experience with food is as a baby, and through our mothers with breast milk. So depending on how that experience is for us, can really hugely impact our relationship with food, and impact us as we grow and grow up into adults. So it's really interesting to consider this. It does go back to babies. Your time as a baby, asking yourself the question, finding out a little bit about what happened when you were a baby. Did you get breastfed? Was your mother well emotionally and physically? What was that experience like? Can you actually remember that experience? I know for me personally, I was 3 weeks premature, so my lungs hadn't developed properly, and I was whisked away into an incubator for 18 hours. So I didn't get that first contact with my mum, and I didn't get that nourishment that I needed, that food from my mum, in those first 18 hours. And that has impacted on my life. I have always felt that I've always had that feeling of I need to nourish myself. And as I was growing up and as a teenager and into my 20s, I really did, I overate. I used food to fill that void, that lack of nourishment in those early stages. And it was only until I became a therapist into my 30s, in fact, that I started to understand our thought patterns and our emotions affect our physical body, and how we can change those. We don't have to stick with those for the rest of our lives. So when you go through a fast, you are effectively resetting and reprogramming your whole body, not just your body, but your mind, body, and your emotions. So it's healing on a really deep level. So my day one is consisted of resting a lot. Greg and I went for a lovely walk in the rain and the wind. So just to have that opportunity to just be together and chat about stuff and be really present with each other, and in really relaxed and calm. And yeah, it's been a really lovely, relaxing day. So I also laid on the couch, gave myself a little bit of Reiki, and rested a lot. Drank lots of herbal teas and water. So, herbal teas are a really good way of keeping your vitamin, minerals, those are your tissue salts, really good at keeping your body healthy whilst you go through the fast. So yes, I will post tomorrow again how I'm feeling and what's occurring. But just a note, if you are watching this and thinking, oh, this sounds amazing, I'm going to have a go, please do make sure that you are ready for fasting. And if you have any illnesses or taking any medication, that you get professional supervision, and you let your doctor know that this is what you're thinking of doing. It can be challenging, and if you're not already used to fasting, it can be really tough. But the benefits are huge, so I would recommend it. But I will put some links onto the blog. When I write my blog, I will put some links on there, and people that fasting isn't recommended for. So anyway, I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Bye.